to talk for a minute about price versus cost versus value and the difference in how they can be framed from traditional business to real estate, just creating some common language to illustrate some ideas for you guys in this process. So, when you're talking about business and a business definition, if you were to Google it, what is the price of something? It's the amount that you pay for something as a consumer. That's what price means. The cost is typically defined as the price to make something or maintain it to get it to a consumer as a business owner. And value speaks to the utility for the consumer. What is it worth over time? How much does it help them? Real estate, it's a little bit different. And at least I use different definitions. So I'm going to sync you guys up to the language that I use when thinking about price versus cost versus value and what you should be considering when getting your house ready to sell, when selling it, when negotiating offers. I found this a really helpful framework for people. So when you switch to looking at these through a real estate lens, the price of something is what you spend or invest to get it. How much does it cost you to get that contractor? How much does it cost to do the repairs? How much does it cost to hire an agent like me? That's the price of what you're spending or investing. The cost is kind of like a lost opportunity cost. It's what you lose from a bad decision. So let's say you decide to not fix something up. You save some money. You might save on price by not hiring that contractor to fix that thing. You might save some money by hiring a discounted agent or selling your house on your own. You might save some money by taking pictures with your iPhone. But that savings in price can come at a cost. If you just take iPhone pictures and you don't really know how to take the pictures, or you've got bad lighting or different things, that may show up on the internet in not the best way that it could show up. And most people now are starting their searches on the internet. They're not driving around looking at houses and going to open houses. That's now more the second step in the process. So if the house doesn't look good in the pictures, right there, you might cost yourself a buyer for the property just because you tried to save that money on price. So that's a price versus cost example in what you want to do, which then gets us into value. The value is the premium or the return that you get from the price versus cost decision. I sold a house earlier this year and I spent about $2,500 on professional pictures, professional video, walk through a neighborhood tour, all kinds of stuff to market that house effectively. It was a little over $1 million price point is where we were going with it. Those pictures got the buyer online. The house had some challenges. It was on a fairly busy street that a lot of people shied away from, but the pictures looked so compelling that the buyers came to the house to check it out anyways, even though they didn't like the idea of being on the street. When they got to the house, I was there at the open house. So then I was able to get into a conversation with them around it, but the pictures created the opportunity for the conversation that ended up being the buyer that bought the house. And it was a super clean, easy deal, really nice. But that investment in the pictures swayed them to see a house they would not have otherwise seen. So it was a really good return on the pictures in that example. And that's just one example of one thing: professional pictures, staging, repairs, pre-inspections. There's all kinds of decisions where you want to be running this matrix of, am I going to get a good return on it? Pricing strategy is another one that can be really key. And we'll be digging further into some of that stuff in the tips and tricks coming up in the series for things for you to consider. Another thing I talk about a lot when I'm talking to people about these considerations is the old adage that they say around contractors: good, fast, or cheap. Contractors, mechanics, things like that is where it's usually applied. Good, fast, or cheap. Pick two. That's all you can pick. You can get really good and fast, but they will not be cheap. You can get fast and cheap, but they're probably not going to be good. If you get good and cheap, they're probably not going to do it fast. And if any of you guys have contractors that are really good, really fast, or really cheap, please send them my way, because I can send a ton of business to them and we'll be happy to do it. But good, fast, or cheap, pick two. Those are another framework that you can keep in mind around how you want to do it. Sometimes sellers will reach out and they'll be like, I got to get my house on the market next week. And then we have a conversation with them around the potential impact from that, because we can do it fast, but it might not get them the financial outcome that they want to have.